too, but I asked Steve to take me down there because I was curious to see what they were doing as far as cleaning up and dismantling and whatever, but the biggest thing I noticed just walking in there was the smell. You know, it was incredible what it was to what it is now. And I don't know if you guys been in there lately or drove past it or walked, but it's amazing to me what it did smell like and what it is now. So I was quite pleased that they're in there working diligently, I think, and time will tell. But and then that new meter on my building, can I have my old one back? Because I think my old one was really slow.
Was it?
Yeah. Because
Did your bill go up a little bit?
It did, and my wife was like, "Holy cows!" And I says, "Well, we were told that they'd slow down." She says, "Well, ask if we can have it back."
I don't know if I want to say yes to you, Mark.
Too late, we scrapped them all out.
Did you? All right. No, it's. I'm still trying to figure out how to read that thing, and I don't think you can.
We can have Ryan if you want to beat him out there, or Mark, or.
Because the other one, you know, I could just write down at the beginning of the month the wheel numbers and go from there. And this one, I wrote down, but it flashes different numbers. I know.
Yeah, there's like power factor.
Yeah,
in
so I'm
there
not
and
sure what to.
demand and-
Yeah.
Right, we can walk through that with you.
I'm going to say delivery, DEL, and then that'll be your reading.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what it is. The rest is date, time.
Okay. So just look for that DEL and then just have them jot that number down.
Reading,
Okay.
6 numbers.
Andrew.
I just wanted to add that it's just kind of encouraging to hear that the staff seems kind of excited about the stuff they work on. I mean, in the past, I've noted that Steve seems always excited to talk about spreadsheets, which most people aren't. And it's always, interesting to see that you're like excited about, look at this, now, but Megan had a couple things that she's all excited about that app, and just hearing everyone, and then Mark stood over there saying everything's awesome like several times tonight. So I think it's good to hear that the staff seems to be enjoying what they're doing, and it's showing. So I'm really excited, even though there's things that haven't gone as we wanted to in some areas, but I think overall we're still very much pointed in the right direction. And with this kind of a staff, I think there's a lot we can do. So I'm excited too. That's all I've got.
Tina.
Well, I only have a couple things. The past storm, I sat up in bed a few times during the night listening to that wind coming off that river and looking across, and I saw that Perry's light was still on. And I'll tell you, it was quite it made everybody nervous. And I just sat there thinking, okay, just go back to sleep, turn the TV back on, and
Can't you watch
go back
my
to
big
sleep.
screen from
You didn't have it on, but
Okay.
put the light at the very top,
didn't have it
very
on.
peak.
That's my son's house.
That's your son's house, that's right.
I turned the lights on. I was curious what his meter is because I've turned the lights on and haven't turned them off since for 2 months.
And yeah, and it has been on, and I often
24/7 they're
wondered,
running, baby.
how are you gonna change the light bulb up there in the peak? So
Ladder.
Okay. The
There goes energy
expo.
efficiency here. Optimization.
I'm very excited about the expo. It's going to be March 25th, and the Lowell Expo has always been a really great opportunity for the whole community. I didn't hear anything that you were planning on being down there. Are you going to have like the Wheel of Fortune or the Wheel of...
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I'll have that and the bucket ride.
Okay, great. Everybody looks forward to it, so I do appreciate you taking the time and being there and being a part of the face of Lowell Light and Power. Megan, I'll tell you what, ladies, pulling those phone calls and bringing it down to $25. That's
It was 24.
24, sorry.
Don't short up rounding up. Don't short up.
It's just amazing. And, you know, I've been part of a customer service for Blue Cross Blue Shield and other other companies, and I've, you know, to have that type of, you know, you guys are just amazing to be able to put it to that point, you know, so thank you, ladies, and thank the girls that are down there taking those wonderful calls, I'm sure, every one of them. And those are tough calls. The new city manager, I would like to invite the new city manager to attend these meetings. The reason why is because, like tonight with the fiber discussion, and I just want to be we're trying to be transparent, and I want him to be here too. So that when you brought up the fiber and we're going to put up this money and the city's going to pay us back, I would have liked to have had him sit in that chair and said, yes, that is the agreement. Just for checks, just to double check and just to be here. Also with the biogester, for him to sit here and be supportive of us. Unfortunately, on Monday nights, I'm not there at the council meetings, but I do appreciate that Perry is there and you're there. And we're a face, you know, we bring our face and our input to their meetings. I'd really like to see our new city manager attend our meetings here. And lastly, the low ledger. I would really like to see, and it's not just me, it is, everybody wants transparency right now. And there's been a lot of bruises. And I'm not finger pointing or anything, but when the Lowell Ledger makes a mistake, I have no problem saying on TV8 News, TV 13 News, when the community was here and they were upset about the biogester, I told them, I let them down because I was not there on top of that project. I have no problem owning that. When they make mistakes by quoting things that are very harshly taken in this community, and then they turn around and well, we'll fix it. And it's not on the front page, but it's somewhere else in the ledger that says, well, we made a mistake. Well, I don't think that's good enough. And that's my opinion. If you're going to make a correction on something that is that damaging to anybody, whether it's us or a person or what have you, I'd really like to see that on the front page. Somewhere in the corner at the bottom, fine, but own it too. And that's how I feel. Thank you.
Okay. Alan?
I'd like to echo Andrew's words. I think that happy employees that's kind of a trickle down from the leadership and between Steve and Ryan and Mark. I want to applaud you guys. That's a good sign. And it's good to hear. That's all I have.
Okay, I just have a couple. Budget. When do we start working on budget? And what's the drop? We have to have a preliminary by the second week in March.
So I've already
by
talked
charter?
with Ryan and Doug and Megan and Julie. We're gonna have a meeting in February to go over key items they'd like to see or key changes to the budget compared to previous years. I will be presenting the board a long-range projection with the February board packet.
Okay.
In March, there will be a draft budget. In May, there will be a final budget that will go to the city. So February, March, and May is how we have historically done it, and it's worked pretty well.
But we have to have a draft to them in March
Correct.
by charter. I just want to make sure that because one year, many
Yeah.
years ago, we didn't get something to them
I know.
by charter, and I do not want to be in that situation
I know, and
ever again.
yeah, and we're gonna follow that. I did tell Mike, I said, our draft budget, we only have 8 months year-to-date information, and we're not even taking into account like our adjustments or accrual accounting methods. I said, we can get a draft and we're going to do it. It's just, if there's any way ever to do it in April and May, it just makes
Right.
more sense because it's gonna be a lot more accurate. But, I mean, if you always look at our draft budget compared to the final, it's significantly different, but we'll have a draft budget in March.
Okay.
It's not a problem. We'll do it.
Secondly, and we can discuss it more, it doesn't have to be done here, but the rodeo's coming up. And I've heard through the grapevine, that Ryan's thinking, well, I need to stay here. And Mark said, I'll stay here this time. Well, my feeling is, it's a reward for these guys to go. We have Portland, that if we have a catastrophe while these guys are down in San Antonio or whatever, we can call Portland or whatever. I don't want them to feel like they have to, or somebody there has to stay, that can't participate in that. And
And Ryan probably had that feeling, because I directed Ryan and said, as soon as I took this position, your mindset changes, and I know if there's ever a major outage or something were to happen, and we're not Johnny on it or prepared, I know the board's gonna be looking at us. So if you feel that way and are okay with Portland, and give me that direction.
well, that's up to the
But
board.
I just want
I'm
to make
just-
sure
I'm
that we
speaking-
have the coverage we need for outages.
I'm speaking for myself.
Okay.
It's got to be a consensus of the board, but I'm just speaking for myself, that I've always said that if something should happen to one of us or some of us or whatever, Light and Power is going to be here the next day. If we all think we're indisposable, that's the furthest thing from the truth. But I think it's important. I think it's a reward for these guys that have that. And again, if Barney's here, or if John typically has not wanted to go, and maybe he just comes back, I know he's on disability, but comes back as a supervisory role, and if case there was an emergency, that Portland can come in and help us out. That's why we have mutual aid. So anyway, I know we probably talk about it not here in this meeting, but I wanted to formally tell these guys that's my feeling. And it's what the rest of the board feels like. But, I think Lowell Light and Power can survive. And again, maybe they don't feel that way, but I want to know that I, as a board member, feel that way. So that's it.
I'm just curious, does any other board members share Echo, Perry? I don't want to put you on the
Well, does
spot, or want to think about it.
Well, yes, does it mean that everybody is gone, or is it?
Well, you've got the two apprentices, which want to participate, and you've got, at some point, we're looking to, I think, that they're looking that they'd like to have there's a journeyman's thing, which is a 3-man team, and then there's apprentice, and that they'd like to participate. And
Yeah, because there could be the potential for like Ryan, Mark, and somebody from a different utility around here, like competing down there. And then Justin and Rich do their thing, but that leaves us with Doug and Ron here, because John's not here right now, so limited work.
Doug's not going down there this year?
He's gone in the
I've
past.
I don't know who is going, because I hope you're all planning to share the same room. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll talk internally
Right.
among staff, but, if we can, the other thing I've thought about is, there's a 15-day forecast now,
Down
and
there.
maybe we just, hey, if the weather looks great 10 days out, we just buy a plane ticket for the last person who was gonna stay here, and maybe they just don't compete, and we plan on competing with, you know what I mean?
I think it's important that they all go. We do something similar down to my work, and it's the same thing, we all get to go, out of state. And then it gets to the point where somebody really does need to stick back, and that's how you feel, I know,
Well, it's kind of
You feel like it's your baby and you want to make sure that it's being well taken care of.
But if Portland did the same thing and they all left their service area and they expected us to go over there and take care of an issue, we have no idea what their system looks
Right.
like, how it operates, where things are at, and it would take forever or it'd take a while to get things restored, and that would be the same way for them coming over here. They have no idea. Yeah, it's power lines, but they really
The other thing I
have
thought
no
of was,
idea.
we have Tom too,
Yeah,
Tom.
But Tom will probably be going because he's on
Yeah,
the,
RP3.
because the
He has to
RP3
go
meets then.
For Sunday.
Just cross our fingers and pray,
Well,
but
I'm,
My thought on that was just, what's their comfort level in letting Portland, or whoever, we're here to fix something that, without having, your experts here,
we would have to have a little,
Would
they'd
you-
have to have a tour or something. I mean, you couldn't expect them to come over here without seeing the system, ever.
I mean, even think of like liability purposes with insurance, if we don't have somebody directing or watching or supervising,
Yeah.
I'd hate for them to have to do something of criticalness on our system, we don't have anybody directing, and all of a sudden we find out a property and liability suit. These are small percent chances, but
If-
I don't want
But
to
that's-
risk something
that's another
either.
core, though.
Right.
And I guess that's the other, I don't know how much they can, I don't know how much assistance you'd be able, like, if there was something going on, could you provide assistance over the phone? Or is it just not the kind of thing you can do like that, and you kind of have to be here? That's really for you guys, I think, to kind of understand and know, but.
I would think somebody that knows the area needs to stay here.
right. And again, I understand that, but, again, I was thinking, I just think there's ways to work it out, whether it's, and hopefully maybe John's back by that time, afterwards, but, and Doug, and, anyway, that's,
I guess-
hopefully you guys can work it out.
I guess the main point is that I do agree that I'd love for everyone to be able to go who wants to. And it's not just a reward, it's a great place to learn. And it's going to make us better having all of you guys there. But if someone has to stay behind because you think that's the safest or the best way to run this, I think that's fine too. Not, like I remember learning when I was a kid, sometimes there's always some people that have to work Christmas morning,
Yeah,
Right.
you never know when something crazy is gonna happen. I mean, what if
Yeah.
something like what happened with that step down across
Yeah.
the river?
That's
What
what I
if
was just
that
thinking of.
happened right when no one was here that knows anything about the system? You can't expect those guys to come over and be able to, they don't even know where the spare would be or
Yeah,
what
and then how to change it out.
Yes,
too, and yeah.
that, I mean, likelihood of that to happen is probably 0% chance, but what if it did?
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm glad that you brought it
Yeah.
up though, Perry,
Get as
because
many
I
people
never
as you
gave that
can.
a thought. I always thought that the reason why that all of them didn't go, or, I was under I thought that there was people that just simply didn't want to go.
There has been.
Okay, so, but now,
The feeling a lot of people would go, I believe.
because we've got a better team, we've got a team that, enjoys working with each other and what have you. I'm glad that you brought it up, because I wouldn't have given this a thought, Perry. I'm glad that you did bring it up, and my opinion is, if you guys could go, and you guys feel comfortable going, I don't want to put you guys into an awkward situation either, but I'd love for you to at least have an opportunity and then enjoy yourselves and work as a great team, doing the lineman, the rodeo.
And it's several months away,
representing
it's several months away, but I wanted to get it out there so.
Yeah, we should
they
think
could
about it now.
Think about it and
Right.
be, trying to plan it out.
us. Yeah,
So
thank you for bringing that.
with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. I'll support. I'd like to motion to adjourn.
Okay?